Daily digital news. Bits and bytes connect our world.
Getting stuck in traffic is never a good experience, and a lot of people actually...
What are you talking about? I love getting stuck in traffic.
You do?
Yes.
How do you keep yourself entertained?
Cry. It's good for the skin.
It's good?
Yeah, the salt water or salt, tears, clears it, gives your cheeks a nice, reddish color.
Rosy.
Yes,
yep,
rosy cheeks. Yeah, don't you cry in traffic?
No.
I think
I get mad in
traffic. Weren't you crying on Thursday, Omnia?
Why?
Traffic?
Oh, no, actually, luckily I didn't end up going and getting stuck in traffic. I was stuck in the traffic on the way back, but that wasn't near as bad.
Patata, up there, down there, all traffic.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad though. I mean, getting stuck in traffic is never a good idea, but also using traffic lights and waiting so long for the traffic light to turn green gets to me. It's very frustrating to me and a lot of people who are tuning into us right now. And that's exactly why Google is trying to find a solution. They are using artificial intelligence to make sure that traffic lights are a lot more efficient and a lot smarter than they once were. And this is also going to help cut fuel use. So you won't have to actually waste as much fuel, and it is going to be cutting out traffic delays by 10 or 20% at 4 different locations where they were able to test this feature out.
Yes, now the early phase research project is among new software initiatives inside Google to actually combat climate change. And we do know Google is a very, good advocate against climate change and global warming. Now, some employees as well as advocacy groups have called on the company, which is, by the way, the world's 3rd most valuable, to more urgently use its influence to combat the crisis. And actually, Omni and I did have, this small talk a couple of days ago, how, yes, us individuals should do our part, but we should focus more on the big companies to influence and also pay their part when it does come to reducing their carbon footprint. Now, we're looking at Google's plans in the coming weeks to allow its Nest thermostat users to buy renewable energy credits for at least $10 a month, which is about 36 or 37 dirhams, and it will offset emissions from heating and cooling. And those credits will then come from projects in Texas, including Bethel Wind Farm and Roseland Solar. And a majority of the funds will go toward credit purchases and utility payment costs. And, we're looking at how there are a bunch of initiatives or incentives to let, the users that are using Google's products to be more recyclable, we use more renewable energy. And in the end, they are, you can say, I quote, paid for what they're doing or for doing good.
Absolutely. And they're actually planning to test a software in Rio de Janeiro. And that software is basically going to be using artificial intelligence to better time traffic signal changes. So how often a signal changes from red to green will become a lot smarter, helping navigate a lot of the traffic that we've been seeing. I feel like I'd love to see this happening right here in the UAE. I know traffic signals are actually pretty smart right here in the UAE, but I feel like if we were to implement something even smarter with all the traffic that's been in the UAE because of Expo and all the different events that are going to be going on.
We're getting a lot of, newcomers to the UAE, obviously, because of Expo 2020
it's
Dubai.
All good things.
All good things, 100%. Maybe the only thing that I would, would like to see is more smart cameras or AI being implemented on roundabouts.
Oh, 100%.
Right? Because
tell me about it.
Yeah, because on roundabouts, especially when there's a signal or traffic light on it, it does get pretty nasty towards the peak hours of the day.
People can never be patient enough on a roundabout. Just see or give permission to those who...
Yeah, so a smart traffic light would be the best option.
Yep.
Let us know your guys' thoughts, 4215 do it slot or on our Instagram at Pulse95 Radio. But when we come back, we're talking all about the Robocop, and you're probably wondering, who? Yes, the UAE Robocop.
Daily digital news. Bits and bytes connect our world.
The next time you see a police car, you may just not find any human beings in it, and rather a Robocop.
وقف على اليمين أنا اسمي Robocop. وقف على اليمين ليس ملكية. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about a UAE Robocop, right? And how it's going to get an official police badge, and we're going to be telling you about what it's going to do. Now, we're talking about Detective RoboTalk.
Interesting name.
Right? And it actually began working already this month on the 3rd of October. And it actually went through 3 years of training. So
He's been trained for a long time.
basic police training. And, he's going to be stationed in Al Quwain.
Yes.
And, it's Detective Robotalk. That's what they call him. And he's a robotic police officer that does investigate crimes against children.
That is so precious.
So he's
That is
protecting our
so
kids.
precious. I love this, especially because we've seen the UAE moving pretty fast when it comes to digitizing different governments, also making sure that police stations, fire stations, you name it, they're all using top-notch technologies to help and fight crime and also ensure our own safety. Now, this is actually coinciding with the opening of Expo 2020 in Dubai, and the project was launched by Al Quwain Police General Command in partnership with Al Quwain Smart Government Department. This Detective Robotalk just got his first job card, and I'm sure it's not going to be the last, because we do know that with robots, they change careers very fast and very easily. Now, he definitely didn't become a cop in a day and night. He spent
3 years of training,
yeah, he spent 3 years training to get the experience that he needed, but he does have very impressive techniques and great results when it comes to investigating crimes against children. And I'm sure, especially when it comes to not necessarily like extracting or interrogating children or just making sure that you get all pieces of the story, it's nice to have them talk to a robot, because I feel like that will not have, it won't give them the feeling that they're being judged, if that makes sense. It could also go the other way and terrify them. Some kids are actually scared of robots, but I feel like they've come across them so often that they're accustomed to them at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like maybe when it comes to children, they won't be, scared from the RoboCop or RoboTalk, because again, these kids are used to tech now. They're used to
100%.
the saying of robots. It is new technology, but not new
To
in
them.
the sense of, hey, this is scary, I don't know what to do with it. And we've been looking about how the UAE has been giving a lot of courses, especially the UAE police, and how they've been giving a lot of courses on child safety online, child safety in general. And, we do protect our children right here in the UAE. And not only are we looking at physical RoboCops, but also online.
Yeah.
There is something called, I forgot the name of it. Don't quote me on it.
Yeah.
But let's say you are a child who is 13 years old or whatever age, and you're having someone harass you online.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, a lot of kids don't speak up about it because they're scared their parents will get upset or will get mad. So the UAE police have provided you
a
hotline with a WhatsApp number.
Yes.
Right? You send the details of said person, what they're doing to you, and their account name on whatever platform they're on. And the police will not notify your parents. The police will not get back to you. The police will do what they do best and catch the criminals, and you will be safe and sound.
Especially in e-crime, the UAE has definitely exceeded every expectation on how they interact and how they deal with those crimes.
Yeah, over here in the UAE, right, the number one thing that I love about this country is safety.
100%.
Right? Safety in real life, safety in the tech world, safety wherever you go. There's a protocol and there's a program they go by. And the UAE has made a stance that said, hey, don't mess with us because you will get the worst end of the table.
True.
And whatever type of scenario it was, the UAE has shown that we are protected and we are safe. And alhamdulillah, God protect this beautiful country because they've been doing a great job protecting us.
Absolutely. And we've definitely seen a lot of benefits that come when using robots as cops or as helpers for police officers. The biggest one of them all is the amount of information that they share and also the amount of information that they receive, since robots are actually quite good at listening and recording your conversations. So, yeah.
Let us know your guys' thoughts, 4215 Durat Salat, or on our Instagram at Pulse95 Radio. We are taking a short break, but when we come back, we got a lot in store for y'all.
Check this out. Check this out. Pulse 95.
In the air, ladies and gentlemen, on the air, we're talking all about drones because we have a competition for you.
Yes, indeed, we do. And we are calling on all creatives 16 years and above. If you have a drone and you have a big passion for shooting aerial views, we've got the perfect opportunity for you to basically win cash prizes up to 30,000 dirhams. And the door is open from now until the 30th of October. All you have to do is get your drone up in beautiful Sharjah, take some shots, no longer than 60 seconds, and upload that video on Instagram. Tag us at Pulse95 Radio and use the hashtag Sharjah above.
Yes, and ladies and gentlemen, we have two categories, the FPV category and the cinematic category.
Yep.
And all you have to do is get your drone in the air, take beautiful aerial shots of Sharjah.
Yes, indeed. And this is actually brought to you by Omnis Media. So they were actually generous enough to gift very talented creatives aged 16 years and above 4 different prizes. We've got the first place winners. They're going to get cash prizes of up to 10,000 dirhams. And then runner-ups are going to be getting 7,000 dirhams each with 2 different categories to basically choose from.
Yes, and once you get that money, you might take a trip to Japan and eat some Wagyu beef because, you know, it is not the normal Wagyu beef we know. It is a vegan alternative.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know,
I wanted to ask you, would you be vegan?
No.
Or could you even?
No.
Same. I love meat and chicken too much.
No, it's not only that. It's not veganism.
Oh,
it's
and
not,
also cheese. And,
yeah, you can't. Dairy
labneh.
products. There's a lot of
Milk.
things. It's not just not eating meat. It's
Yeah.
eating anything that comes from an animal.
But that's even, to me, like the meat and the chicken are just, how can you even feel or get
Listen
all
to
of your
this.
protein?
You can't even get butter.
What?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, you
yeah,
need to use
milk.
vegan butter.
Milk.
They have vegan butter, though.
They have too many things that are vegan, but doesn't taste the same. And
We're not hating on anyone who's vegan. I
Yeah.
mean, I personally feel like you are truly fighting, you know, to
fighting
be
the
able...
urge. You have so much, you know,
Yes.
self-control of yourself. But, you know, in Japan, they are considering the vegans and they're making them a Wagyu beef. Scientists at Japan's Osaka University have actually 3D printed this lab-grown meat, and they do hope it could be a more sustainable alternative to the country's famed Wagyu beef, because Wagyu beef does actually derive from Japan.
Yes, indeed. And we do know that currently food security has been a big concern around the world, and different countries are trying to make sure that food security is being established, different laws and regulations, as well as different ways of sustaining people's lives. Now, using lab-grown or cultured meat has definitely been a big topic, and a lot of scientists believe that this is going to help us address all the food and protein shortages that will happen in the future as the populations continue to grow. Now, this research team, what they did is they first extracted bovine cells from Japanese black cows, and they manually pieced the fibers together to create the meat. So it's going to taste very similar to what
The
regular
texture,
Wagyu beef tastes like. And I've heard from a lot of vegans that whenever they have like vegan burgers
Tofu,
or
stuff like that.
or even the Beyond Meat products, they taste very realistic. They taste exactly at like what chicken and meat would taste like, but I wouldn't know.
Yeah, it might, you know, if it's really good and like what everyone says, maybe even people who are not vegans will eat it as well, because again, sustainability, right? We do care about the environment and we do care about our wildlife. Ladies and gentlemen, we are taking a short break, but when we come back, we got a lot in store for y'all.
Pulse 95.
Apps all around.
What's worth a click and download?
Oh, how I wish someone could actually pop up on Instagram, or a notification could pop up on Instagram and tell me, take a break. Enough scrolling, go do more useful things in your life.
Do you spend that much time on Instagram? I don't believe that you spend that much time.
You want an honest answer?
Yeah, I
or
don't-
a fake answer.
No, I want an honest answer, because honestly, I don't believe that you spend a lot of time on Instagram.
I do. Why? Why
I-
wouldn't you think?
I think you got better things to do.
I've got better things to do, but like the procrastination level that happens on Instagram is pretty bad.
Because I know you're a busy lady, right? So I don't think you got time, because you go work and then you go to school and
Yeah.
you do a lot of things. I don't think
I
like.
run away from responsibility on Instagram.
Well, you're in luck now, because unfortunately though, I don't think it applies to you,
No.
because you're not a teenager anymore. But Instagram will try to nudge teens away from harmful content and even prompt them to take a break. Now, Facebook's Vice President of Global Affairs, Nick Clegg, has also expressed openness to the idea of letting regulators have access to Facebook algorithms. Now, this is no surprise, ladies and gentlemen, because as we do know, Facebook has been under fire for the past couple of weeks now. Last week, we've seen an outage twice when it came to Facebook, Instagram, and even WhatsApp. So we do know that there's also a conspiracy theory regarding, the whistleblower. I'm not going to get into it because we're going to take like 20 minutes explaining everything, but it does seem that Instagram or Facebook is trying to say, hey, all our cards are now open to the public.
Oh, 100%.
And we are doing what you want us to be doing. Please, sir, don't fire me.
Absolutely. Now, what we know about Instagram and Facebook, or at least what we know now, is that they have power over what is amplified. What news pops up more often on your news feed is not just a mere coincidence. It's all planned. It's all amplified through the algorithms. And that also goes to show what things die down on Instagram or are not given as much attention, or, the stories of those people don't pop up as often to you is also being controlled by those algorithms. So Facebook came out saying that they want to introduce something which they think will make a considerable difference to the well-being of teenagers. So their systems will now see what the teenager is looking at. What content are they exploring on a day-to-day basis? And if they are looking at content that is harmful, content that is not as beneficial to their well-being, that will be changed and the platform will nudge them to look at other content. I believe this will happen by simply kind of decreasing that content from popping up on their news feed, or even by introducing something that they call the take a break. So they will ask teenagers to simply take a break off of Instagram and take care of their mental health. However, I'm like, how are they gonna listen? Because I have screen time set on my Instagram, so it notifies me like you've spent an hour today on Instagram, and I ignore it
pop-up
sometimes.
comes up?
Yeah.
All right, so when we're talking about, these take a break type of things, so once the person is aware about how much time they are spending on said platform, there's something we know in Arabic saying "bihis adamu," right?
Yeah.
you feel like, okay, wait, I'm taking it a little bit extreme.
Yeah.
So in the aspect of gaming, right? When you play a game, a computer game, for a long period of time, you will get a message that says you've been playing X game for 4 hours. Do you think you want to take a break? And a lot of the time when I get that, I say, yeah, I've been playing for a while. Let me just stretch a little bit, go to the kitchen and do other things. But obviously I would come back to the game.
Yeah.
But the point,
do you get that on any PC with gaming?
It depends on each game, right?
Okay.
So when we're looking at these type of things, okay, and how it will make people feel ashamed in a way, not in a bad way, but say, hey, I've been spending a little bit way too much time.
I think like it wakes them up.
Again, it nudges them.
Yeah,
right.
True.
It tells them that, hey, you've been spending X amount of time. Take a break. And we're looking at how Facebook is trying to fit the status quo that Instagram and Facebook and all their social media platforms is a safe space for teenagers and young adults, because Omni and I have said over and over again about how, social media is very toxic to the young generation. So with Facebook doing this initiative, it is showing the public and also telling the people or the users, the young adults using the platform, that, hey, we are for you. Yes, we benefit from you, but we are for you. Is it genuine? No. They are doing this, to save face after the bashing that has been done for the past couple of weeks, or even we can go to the extent of months now.
Yep.
So am I with this 100%? Why? Because even if Facebook is benefiting from said new option, the users and the young teens are also being now more aware of how much time they are spending on these platforms.
In my personal opinion, I feel like Facebook and Instagram currently are just screaming to everyone, trust us, please trust us once again, just give us one more chance. And those pleas are falling on deaf ears because people have already made up their mind and are actually pretty disappointed by the way Instagram and Facebook kind of just want money and don't really care about our public good. But we want to hear from all of you. 4215 do it Salat or slide into our DMs at Pulse 95 Radio. What do you think of this new feature that Facebook is launching, trying to nudge teens away by reminding them to take a break whenever they spend too much time on Instagram? Our text lines are open and we want to hear from all of you.
Check this out. Check this out. Pulse 95.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about a flying, skateboarding, tightrope walking robot.
If you think you're cool, if you see this robot, you won't think you're
If
cool
you think you
anymore.
got style, this robot has more style than you. Now listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. Researchers in California have unveiled a bipedal robot that combines walking with flying to create a new type of locomotion, which does then allow it to jump, skateboard, and even walk on a slack line.
Can I just say, I'm watching the video of this robot tightrope walk, and it's so funny.
It's funny, but
he looks like someone who really needs to use the bathroom.
Now imagine this, Omnia.
Yes.
Right? It's a bird.
Yes.
It's a plane.
It's
No,
a submarine.
it's this robot. You know how it's like it's a Superman? It's this
Yep.
robot. Now imagine, Omnia, you're in Gotham City. Okay? This is the Batman city.
Yeah.
Right? You're in Gotham City. You're sleeping in your house, in your apartment, because you know in the Gotham City there's lots of apartments.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden you're and you just hear like, you're like what is that? Right? And you see this robot flying across and tightroping on the laundry lines.
Yes.
Imagine that, It's a robot.
It's a robot.
They're heavy.
And they can do and walk on pretty much any terrain now.
Now, imagine the sound.
Oh my God. I think when it's tight roping, it's gonna be interesting. Terrified
Yeah,
robots.
that's what I feel like. I feel like
living on the edge.
Yes, I mean we're looking at robots like this, and the official name of this robot is Leonardo, and they have extraordinary locomotion capabilities that are used in things like, believe it or not, space exploration.
Yep.
Because just like you said, Omnia, they can overcome very difficult terrain and they can reach hard to reach places. But they also think robots will be more useful in our daily lives. And again, this is where technology comes into play once again. And Omni and I have reiterated this tons of times that robots, technology are here to make our lives
easier.
Yes.
Now, what's interesting about this robot, I'm trying to think of all the different ways it could come in handy in our day-to-day life. Imagine a fire scene where you have a child stuck in the corner of a room or whatever. You can just send this robot either flying or skateboarding, and he can pick up that kid and bring them back to you in no time instead of putting the lives of firefighters at risk. Also, rescue missions, flying robots can definitely come in handy because they can arrive to the location at a much faster speed than any human could possibly do. So I can't wait to see these robots actually deployed and see the different things that they can be used in to help us in our day-to-day activities. Let us know if you were to come across a tightroping,
skydiving, flying, skateboarding,
Robot.
snowboarding, robot, anything that has ing in it, it does.
What can it not do? That's the question.
That's a good question. I actually thought, and I paused for a moment. I think, we're looking at it. I mean, we've seen Spot the Robot. We've seen a lot of robots be doing a lot of things. And this just comes to give the question, what are we going to be seeing 5 years from now? We are in 2021, and these things have been popping off since 2019. Let us know your guys' thoughts, 4215, do or slot, or on our Instagram at Pulse95 Radio. But unfortunately, Future Talk is coming to an end. But we'll see you tomorrow.
Same time, same place, only here on Pulse 95.
If you liked this episode of Future Talk, drop a like and subscribe.
Pulse 95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.